All right, we got the spreader all loaded up. I think I got it for a good price. I'll let you know after. Let me know if I got a good deal or not. Good morning. It was 39 degrees out when I woke up this morning. It's in the mid 40s right now. So let's get up to it's like 69 today for a high. We just had a heat wave in the 90s. Now it's cold again. I love this weather though. 1.5 and half in Black Beauty. They're settling into the homestead nicely. Brutus is going around doing his rounds and checking on the meat birds. Brutus likes coming out. I'll go over do his rounds to check on his meat birds, all of his cows, the egg layers, and then I'll go back to the barn. And that's what we're trying to train him to do. Like, hey, do your rounds, stay over here, the side of the road's yours, the barn's your place, roam around, check everybody out, but go back to the barn. We don't want him just staying with one of the kinds of animals. We want him to just go around and patrol all of them. They are doing good, settling in nicely. We need to preg test Azalea again this morning and see if she's pregnant. I had some new supplies come in, so I'll get that done. These girls are very curious of the meat birds. They never had any other livestock on the farm they were from. It's just a farm that has cattle, so they're not quite too sure what to make of everything. What are you doing?
Well, we have a winner for names for these two orange feeder pigs. One is going to be named Pumpkin, and this one right here is Spice. And that name fits her for sure. She's spicy and feisty. And Sweet Potato, so far she is so sweet. Oh, Sweet Potato. But you're spicy. You're so spicy. Yes, you are. And Pumpkin. Yeah. One of our fast foods lately have been grass-fed burgers, and I have been really wanting a nice bun. I'm gonna go ahead and make some einkorn flour buns. I did find a recipe in the einkorn flour cookbook, which it sounds great, but that is a big process because you need to have like a certain yeast if you don't have a sourdough going, and then that's like 6 to 8 hours, and then the whole process altogether. I just don't have time to do that one now. I do want to try that one at some point, but I did find a quick einkorn flour bun recipe, a hamburger bun recipe, so I'm gonna give that a try. It has a potato in it. So I have a potato here boiling, getting ready. I just need to get it soft and break it down. I've never made any kind of bread with potato in it, but I have had some donuts and stuff like that made with potatoes and squash and stuff like that. Not that I've made, but I've had, and they were so good. So when this recipe calls for potatoes, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit more work on this side. The rest of the recipe, I mean, I guess I just had to peel it and everything, but the rest of the recipe seems super simple, super easy, and I'm hoping it comes out. It also said that the buns do freeze well, so that's awesome. I can make some, freeze some, or make a bigger batch at some point if they come out really good. Freeze some so we can just pull them out. We can have grass-fed burgers and buns and all the things. The recipe says not to over knead, so I am going to stop right there. Now I just need to sprinkle it with flour, give it a couple hand kneads, and then I need to let it sit, and hopefully it will rise in 2 to 3 hours. Tripling in size, it says. Doubling, hopefully, at least.
All right, I grabbed a few things. We got a new barrel. We need to make a new pig waterer. I want to have that one outside because right now the pigs can go inside and outside. And we're gonna have this one later on up above. So I just wanna get another one built, have it, so when we need it, we're ready. The big thing is I wanna get some electric fence outside in their perimeter area. So I wanna line in here with 2 strands of electrical fence. One like 6 inches-ish off the ground, maybe a little bit more, and then one like 12 inches off the ground. So that way they're used to having 2-strand fence. And then I want to put netting in here, like a poultry netting. So that way we can train them to pig netting. I have from Premier One, they make gates. So instead of having to line that with a big net or cut a piece of my net out, I'm gonna put the gate section up. Let me grab it. We've had this for a long time now. So this little gate section, I think it's like 3 or 4 feet wide, is if you want to have poultry netting out and you don't want to have to step over or unplug it every time you go in, you can get this gate section, which is nice from Premier One. But this is what we're going to use to train the pigs too, because it's electrified. It's just a short section. We can use that. I want to train them to both. I want to train them to 2-strand electrical fence and netting, so that way we have the opportunity to use both. My thinking is when they're out here up on pasture, we'll have the netting out. So I want to get the pigs up here in the future once they're a little bit bigger and trained. And then on this pasture area, we'll have them trained to netting. And then when we bring them into the woods, you don't want to use poultry netting in the woods. You can, but it's not very convenient because if you get sticks in it or the ground's uneven, it's not as easy. So if you can train them to the 2-strand electrical fence, it's a lot easier. So we're going to train them to both in here. So they've had access to the run, then they've been able to get used to the perimeter fence. And now we're going to put the electrical fence on the inside of the perimeter fence. So that way they know they can't go through it. Because if you just put electrical fence up and they first touch it, their first instinct is when they get zapped to run through it. So if you have a barrier behind it or in front of it, however you want to call it, when they hit the electric fence, they know, hey, I can't go through it because there's a physical barrier there. I got to back up. So you're training them to know when they hit the fence, they have to go backwards because you don't want them plowing through it, because then that just defeats the whole purpose of having an electric fence. So let's get this set up and we'll get them trained. It'll take a couple of weeks, but by then they'll be big enough and our pasture will be ready for them. All right, and then for my post for pigs, I like to use fiberglass posts with these screw adjustable insulators. And that way you can change the height very easily, especially if you're in the woods and the contour of the ground changes. You can just raise them and lower them pretty nice, and they're quick and easy to move around. So let's go get these installed. It's about the right height right there. Can't get over how fast spiders can work. This door was open yesterday. It was just closed last night. That's a spider web just from last night and this morning.
Well, maybe that was Charlotte's web Al just took down. It is a pig pen and all, so I don't know. I don't know if we have a Charlotte or not, but we definitely have somebody.
All right, I gotta make a jumper to go from the fence over there that's hot over to this one. I'm gonna put an insulator on the wire, so when I go through the cattle panel, or hog panel I should say, I'm not arcing. Judging my length, and I wanna make sure I don't touch the fence.
You're very serious.
I don't wanna get
Wake you up.
Sure will.
You just made me jump. Something's snapping.
It's probably the gate.
I heard that noise and then your hands went up. Of course I wasn't.
Scared you?
Yeah, I thought you guys zapped.
The little gate area, but that'll be good. We'll leave it snapping like that. The netting.
Then they can hear it.
Then they can hear it, and then they'll learn quicker. All right, let's get them some grass. We'll give them some grass out here, and then we'll let them out. We got a little assortment of orchard grass and Timothy.
We just want some.
Okay, piggies. How you doing, piggies? You want some grass?
Yukon, you're getting so big.
Spicy, you're trying to get in there. Or is it spicy or spice?
Spice, but she's spicy and feisty.
Miss Spice, you're the one trying to get in there. Make sure you get some.
Oh, don't. Ah, I hate when they do that. Oh.
Well, a couple of them have already learned the fence, so they'll learn it pretty quickly, which is good. Leave the grass out here for them. They'll come out and eat. Once there gets more shade out here, they'll come out here even more. So it won't take them long, and they'll figure out this electric fence.
Look at how big Yukon got.
Yep.
They're all getting pretty big. Pumpkin's a little small, but she's a lot bigger.
Yeah, she's grown.
Spice
is
she's
growing.
Pretty big, yeah. She's almost the size of Yukon.
Yep.
Sweet potato's getting bigger.
It is so funny how much they like the pasture grass, which is a good thing. That's why we got them, but it's very encouraging them to see them eating the grass just like that. They love it. They still have grain inside, but they're choosing to eat the grass.
So far, Yukon and Sweet Potato have the best personalities, I think, of the 4. So those are our breeders. So I'm hoping that their personalities stay good. Very gentle. Both. Whoa, geez. Gosh. I'm not sure who just touched that fence, but geez, it jumped me for sure. Yeah, like I was saying, I really like the personalities of Yukon and Sweet Potato. The best out of the 4. They're all pretty cool.
I want to build another drinking water barrel. I ended up ordering a kit off Amazon. I'll link it down below. This one comes with your stainless steel water nipples, which work really well. And then they come with brass bulkhead fittings. Comes with the bit you need, which is really nice. Nice. Oh, golly. They make that a good snug fit. Don't want to over tighten it. I'm kind of surprised. The kit even comes with the Teflon tape you need. All right, we got that filled up. Guys, coming out to try out the new waterer. Don't touch the fence.
All right, let's see. So it definitely doubled in size. I don't think it tripled in size, so I think it should be fine. Now that the dough is ready, I just need to knead it for a minute or 2 and then put it into a shape of a ball. So I wouldn't say I am awesome at hand kneading because I don't tend to do stuff like that because I am a mixer girl, kitchen gadget girl, something that's going to be the easiest, but I mean, any of you that do hand knead, you're probably like, you're not doing that right, but I think it's fine. So, just gonna knead this. All right, well, I was waiting for these to do their thing, to rise. Hopefully, I went and did something else, so I have no idea what these are gonna look like when I lift this off. I did push them down flat so they have puffed up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick them in the oven, keep an eye on them. I'll do 10 minutes, check them, turn them. All right, I'm going to cut into one and see what they look like. Maybe I flattened them too much so they're not super puffy, but next time I won't push them down as much. Yeah, that looks nice. It doesn't feel super dense or anything. We like nice thin burgers.
All right, I got another blood sample from Azalea this morning. We're gonna do another pregnancy test. Last time I wasn't able to get as much blood as they recommend. Our needles weren't the right length, I believe was the issue. So I got a longer needle and I was able to get the blood perfectly. So now I gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, it's all the blood you need to do the test. And I got to put 6 drops of this solution in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Timer is off, and she's not pregnant. So that is 2 tests with the same results. And then her heat cycle will be in like a week. So we'll keep an eye on that too. But it is showing me Azalea is open and she's not pregnant. So now we got to figure out what we want to do for our next step. All right, I think I found a manure spreader. I'm gonna go take a road trip and go look at one. It looks like a decent older one for a really good price. Hopefully I can get it for a little bit better of a price than what they have it listed. That's the goal. All right, we got the spreader all loaded up. I think I got it for a good price. I'll let you know after. Let me know if I got a good deal or not. Let's head on back. Luckily, it just started raining when we got loaded. It's not raining too bad yet, so if we can get back and get unloaded without getting wet, I'll be happy. Well, unfortunately, we didn't beat the rain, but we made it back, and the manure spreader is still in one piece back there on the trailer. So that is a good thing. Now we just gotta get back here, get it unloaded, and go over it. I am excited for this. All right, so we picked up this new idea Manure Spreader is built between 1948 and 1955, going by the VIN number. It's pretty original. It's in really good shape. Everything works, so it's gear driven. If you look right here, there's a big old gear on this side of the tire. So when you put this lever down right here, it'll drop this chain and lower it down on top of that gear. And that gear drives the belt inside, and that moves the manure forward. There's the other lever on the other side. You let that one down and it engages, we'll go to the other side, a gearbox on that side, and that starts turning these gears, and it turns these little fingers that break up the manure, and then this will fling it out. You don't need a PTO for this, so we should be able to pull it behind any of the tractors, and we should be able to pull it behind the side-by-side. So it'd be nice to be able to have it behind the side-by-side, load it with the 574, go out, spread the compost, and back and forth. So I'll come over here, I'll show you this gear. And there's different notches on this one, so I'm assuming it must be for different speeds. The further down you engage it, the faster that'll go. This one just has one speed, and that one drives the floor chain. So it's all original. The wood is, some of it's in rough shape, some of it's in good shape. I'm not seeing any rot on the wood other than like it's broken here, maybe a little bit of rot here. I am really impressed with all the mechanics of it. They're all solid, they're all original. I can't find any broken chain links. I can't find any broken gears. Everything looks nice and solid. So we're going to use it as is to spread our composted manure on the pasture. But then I was also thinking that this might make a good restoration project this winter. So let me know if you think we should restore it or just keep it as it is. But I ended up scoring it for 750 bucks. I feel like that's a good price. Let me know what you guys think. Is that a good deal, or did I get taken? I've been seeing them on Facebook for all different prices, so this is the best one I found so far. The biggest thing we'll need to do sometime is tires. So this one's got a tube in it, but it's dry cracked. The other side's dry cracked. This side lets air out a little bit, like every 2 weeks he said he had to air the tire up. But it does have a tube, so the tube must have a hole in it. I wonder if I could just put slime in the tube for now until we decide what we're going to do. Because if we're going to do any restoration to it, we'll most likely paint the rims, and if we're doing that, we got to take the tire off anyways, so there's no point in doing anything to that for now. But it's kind of cool. You get these little doors in there. I don't know how well you can see it. There is a grease fitting to grease everything. There's grease fittings. I just saw another grease fitting right here. There's plenty of grease fittings to keep this thing lubed up, and I mean, just look at these sprockets. They're huge. So we got grease fittings. I believe I saw them right here. Yeah, you get them right here for the front or for the tire axles. So you can keep everything lubed up nice and easy. It has a really interesting trailer jack stand or leg, whatever you want to call it. Once we get it off, I'll show you it. I've never seen anything like it before, but it works. It's just kind of like, I wonder why they designed it that way. I can't believe it still has some of the original paint on the inside. All right, let's go up slowly and see what happens. I don't know, I just love all this old technology. Dropping that chain down top of that big old gear. Ooh, we're gonna have to keep the tailgate down, because that goes right there. That sets in right there. And then this one does the back. So as I'm pulling forward, you'll see the wheel spins that sprocket, which engages the bottom chain, which is pretty slow. But that one is really fast. It's kind of interesting how the different speeds work. I just noticed you can change the lengths of your handle, so you can even go longer or shorter. So that's good to know. I'll have to get some like PB Blaster penetrating oil to get the rust broken up, so if we need to adjust these, we can. Pretty excited to get this used. First, we have to mow some pasture before we can put the compost on it, but once we're ready for it, now we have the compost spreader. I really wanted to spread compost this spring before the grass started growing, but I couldn't find any spreaders around, so you got to pick them up when you can find them. Let me know what you think we should do with it. Should we just use it the way it is? Use it the way it is for now, restore it this winter, and if we do restore it, what do? Do we sandblast it? Do we just put paint on it? Do we redo all the wood? Give me your thoughts and idea, because this could really be a cool project if we really want to dive into it. So let me know your thoughts. This is where we're going to end the video. The rain's going to start to come down hard now, because that's what the weatherman says. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye. This is a pretty weird jack. This comes down, and then you got this arm, hold on. That comes down, and then this also, hold on. See, it's so weird, I don't even know how to use it. Okay, and then you lock that in somehow. Maybe like that. And then maybe now you lift it up. Yeah, and now you jack it up. Okay, so now it's jacked. They're kind of different. I'm gonna stick this back in there after.